Welcome back to Buff-A-Touille. Today we're going to make a steakhouse crunch melt. All right, here's the ingredients that we're going to be using today. Okay, so this is one of the things that is the secret in here. So if you've seen our other videos, you've seen that we use the shabu shabu from Costco for the cheesesteaks and other recipes. But we were shopping at Target the other day and we ran across this beef shaved steak, and it's very thinly sliced. And it gives you the same effect that it would with the shabu shabu, but might be easier to find if you don't have a Costco membership. So we're going to be using this. Even though it is shaved, we're going to go ahead and slice it up some more because we want really small pieces for it for our steakhouse crunch melts. So in a minute we're going to do that, and then we also the sweet yellow onion. We are going to cut it up. We're going to do really thin slices of it. So we'll do that. So that's really the prep work that you'll need to do, is preparing those, and then after that it'll go pretty quick. All right, so this is out of the package, and as you can see, it looks really appealing. It is, you can see, very thinly sliced here. Got a really nice thin slice, but we want to make sure it gets chopped up into smaller pieces. So we're going to do that. And then actually, after we cut this up in the onion, we're going to make a marinade for it, which I completely forgot to tell you about the wet ingredients, but we'll cover that when we get to it. So now I'm going to slice it up. I'll show you what it's like when I'm done. All right, so now we've cut it up into really small pieces. There's no magic size, but you definitely want smaller, so it'll assemble nice on the sandwich next. Okay, now for the onion, we want to cut it really thin. So I like to cut them in half. Do however you want, but we want really thin slices. So not quite see-through like for a smash burger, but still pretty thin. That's maybe like an 1/8 inch. Approximately. What we'll do with these, we're just going to throw them in with the meat, and once we're done, we'll start the marinade. All right, so how you marinate is completely up to you, and honestly, this is so tender you don't necessarily need to, but we know that it's the extra part that makes it even better. So we're going to get a little olive oil in there. We've got a tablespoon of olive oil going in. Actually, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We got a little red wine vinegar, about 1/2 tablespoon of red wine vinegar. Then we're going to throw in a tablespoon of soy sauce. And we got some Worcestershire sauce. Going to get in there also about another weak tablespoon of that. And then I'm just going to put in a little unagi sauce. It's kind of like a sweet soy sauce, and we'll just put in 1/2 tablespoon at most. You can see it's pretty thick, but it has a lot of flavor. Okay, so that's it for wet ingredients, and in addition to that, we're also going to add in a few more things. So we've got we put in our salt, pepper, garlic. I'm not measuring that, but we'll continue to add to that as time goes on. And about 1 teaspoon of garlic. Okay, so this part where you get messy. So you go in and mix it all up. And then after we get it all mixed together, marinating for a while. How long is up to you. Like I said, it's so tender, you don't necessarily need it for long. It's probably more so for soaking in the flavor. So we'll probably do it for 30 minutes. Then after that, we can start making it. All right, as we're waiting for our pan to heat up, some news I'd like to share with you. This week, our beloved Chloe has left us to join us at the big restaurant in the sky. She'll be definitely missed. Been a part of our family for a really long time. You probably saw our last video we did on the salmon patties, which was dedicated to her. But just wanted to share that news with you. Okay, our pan is nice and preheated here. We're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of oil, a little more olive oil to it. And then we'll put in our marinated mixture, which smells wonderful. Wonderful, as my mother would say. This will cook really fast because it's so thin. I like to keep moving it around, keep breaking up the meat pieces as much as possible. While it's marinating, I also was working to separate them. Once this is browned, we're gonna set the pan aside, and then we'll divide it up into quarters or some size that's approximately, equal to the size of a piece of bread. All right, so it's about halfway done. What I want to do now, I want to add more SPG, salt, pepper, garlic, to it. We really want to season it up well. This should be really strong and umami from the ingredients before, plus the salt, pepper, garlic. But we're gonna do a lot more after this, so I'll go ahead and finish this up, and then I'll see you in a second. Okay, our food, I'm not gonna lift it up too high here. That's ready. I'm gonna set that to the side. I'm gonna bring on another pan. So, some inspiration for this. Growing up, I loved grilled cheeses, and probably wanted one like every day. My brother, he always made his in a toaster, toasted his bread, thrown some cheese. Never as good, because we know that it's really important to get butter in there along with that cheese. However, today we're gonna do something a little different. So where we get the crunch from and the crunch melt is the next process that I'm gonna do next. A lot of great ways to make a melt or a grilled cheese, but what I like to do is to soak the bread in olive oil. Now, this is a good trick for you, mother. I know you're watching this, and I think back to all those grilled cheeses you made for me that were just completely blackened on the bread. We're not gonna do that to people today. Today it's gonna be beautifully crunchy. All right, so we are nice and warm here. So we're gonna go ahead. I just want to caution you, if you do this, there's a risk of potentially getting burned because of the hot oil. But what I like to do first is I'll pour in some olive oil into the pan, and then I'll immediately put the bread on it, move the bread around, soak up the olive oil. I'll set that to the side. I'll do the same for the next one. And it's really this olive oil that gives it a beautiful, beautiful, flavorful crunch. All right, so got that sitting on there. Now we're gonna take some white American cheese, put that on each. You can use a different cheese if you like. Since these are a little bit bigger, we're gonna just add a third one here, break it in half, make sure we really cover up the sides. Okay. Now, for the fun part, while that browns, we're gonna take, I'm gonna do this part over because it's not showing. So it'd be better if you could actually see what I was doing. So we'll make sure to demonstrate that part again, but while that's cooking, I need to go ahead and take our meat and onion flavor that we made. We'll get it on there and we will assemble one half of it. A little bit more. Yellowing nicely. So one thing about this, once it's done, because we cooked it in oil, the bread is gonna be extremely hot. So don't eat it right away. You wanna let it cool down just a little bit. This will take just a little bit. Once it's nice and golden crispy, we're gonna put that on top, and then it's done. It's ready to cool. turn it along. You'll see how beautiful it is here in just a second. And then I'll show you again what I did with the bread and the cheese, since I completely messed that up and forgot to show the camera face in the pan. All right, we'll give that just another second. You can see the cheese melting nicely. Beautiful. Just about there. Some other things we've also done with this is we've added like aioli to the top, or even a barbecue sauce. There's all kinds of sauces you can put on it just to make it your own, but it's really not needed. But today we're just making it without those things. Oh boy, really close. Give it another 20 seconds or so. This will definitely not be like Mom's grilled cheese, even though she gave me a good start on the basics of it. Get our plate ready. We'll just go ahead and flip that over, so make sure you're using something safe. All right. So here is we'll let that cool down and we'll make another. So I need to demonstrate that process for you once again. So once again, we'll put the olive oil in, take the bread, swirl it around. I'll do the same with another slice. Okay, and then we'll add the cheese. Texas toast is another good way to do this. All right, and once again, we'll take our toppings here. Put those on. All right, we'll see you in a minute to taste it. All right, let's do this. Very excited. Holy moly. That is really good. That is amazing. I guess all I can say is thanks for joining us on another Buff-A-Touille experience.